What's up, beautiful people, to another episode of the Jones Family Channel. It's me, Rickey Jones Jr. We also have the oh so lovely
Chrystle Jones
back again for another video. Now, I'm excited to get into it, largely because it was something that you all had asked for, and of course, we are here to deliver and have a good time doing so. And if you are new to the channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. We are the Jones family, all about that action, okay? We now live in Johannesburg, South Africa, and we invite you to subscribe to the channel so that you can see all the fun that we have here and in life in general, as we are on our way to 50,000 subscribers. And thank you all, because we already at 30,000, and I believe we're gonna get to 50,000 quick. It's gonna be the fastest journey there. And you can go to our online store, thejonesfamilychannel.com, in which you can see various merch as this and other inspirational quotes that my wife has put together. So fun times, good times, all within the Jones family. And speaking of, we had to get educated to be able to do all the things that we have been able to do. We're gonna talk about education today because the question has been asked, what has the education been like there in Johannesburg as opposed to what you're used to and accustomed to in Florida or the US, where we were in Florida? And I mean, truth be told, I'm excited. Largely because the education here is on a whole nother level. And so we can go back and forth with it and just have some fun pointing out the various things that we like about it. And then we'll bring the kids in to let them share their thoughts on what school has been like here as opposed to what they had back in the States. So talk to them, beautiful lady.
So I would start with the type of school that our kids are in. Our kids are in a private school here in South Africa. And that in and of itself is such a blessing. It's such an opportunity because in the States, we could not afford private school.
Nah.
That was literally not even almost an option. So for them to be able to get a private education here at an affordable cost, in the States, private education is easily 5 times as much. Easily, and I cannot stress that enough. Private education in the States costs as much really as a college education.
Facts.
Often does.
Yes.
And the reason that you would want your children to be in a private school in the States is because the state of, no pun intended, the state of education in public schools in the States. Yeah. So the type of school that our kids are in here is a private school. So I wanted to just set that baseline because that is a part of our experience. I can't speak to the experience of public education. However, I've come in contact with people that we've had extensive conversations with that were educated at public schools here, and they still speak multiple languages. They still seem to be very smart people. But I did want to lay that baseline and just let you know the type of school that the kids are in.
No, that's good. That's very necessary because then it puts us all in the right mindset. And even to your point, private school in the States does cost the same as a college education in the States, and so it's amazing for
a
the
good
kids.
College.
Correct, very good college at that.
Not community college. No. A good college.
Hell, a 4-year degree, okay? And all that to say, it's amazing for the people that are able to do it in the States. Shouts out to you all. She's already spoke about us. And so just even with that, our kids did go to a charter school in the States, which was a phenomenal school and great education with a lot of activities, great people, and a mixed population as far as kids are concerned. So, and diverse, some would say. And so a diverse population of kids. And I want that to be known as well, as that is our comparison to what we get to experience here. And even with that, I love the activities that the kids have the opportunity to be a part of in the schools here. And now when I say activities, I do mean during school as well as after school, because here our kids get the ability to cook. Our kids get the ability to do coding. Our kids get the ability to be in dance, drama, and other arts, art type activities, which, there are those activities back in the States. I will say that. However, home ec, How many kids do you know are in home ec or have done home ec in elementary school or in pre-K, or now our son is going into kindergarten, which they call stage 5, and he's gonna start to be able to be in baking class and cooking things and bringing things home that he's cooking, as well as coding, like I even said. And even one of the things that he's even will be doing is having, it's called like nature something, where they have iPads that they go outside and take pictures of various things that are out there in nature. And I'm like, wait a minute, in kindergarten?
And then go back and edit them.
In kindergarten, ladies and gentlemen. And what a goal, what a you know, what's the thing called where like you're able to do something and you have it under your belt, like a asset. Boom, I like that word. I'll use that word. What an asset it will be for him in the long run, especially with us even doing videos. You know what I'm saying? He can start help editing. She can start help editing because she'll be doing those things as well. When I say he, I'm talking about Rickey, which y'all will see. When I say she, I'm talking about Rain, which you should know. But in it, they get to do those things. And one of the last ones that I love that Rickey had the ability to dive into, unbeknownst to us, is hip hop class, which...
Yes.
My boy loves dancing. If you know him, you know he loves to dance and knows how to dance. The boy is rhythmically inclined. And so being able to have hip hop classes that he does after school, amazing, amazing. That wasn't even offered back in the States. So those things, love.
Yes, and I am going to step back just a little bit. Because I'm like, we threw out the term charter school, but a lot of people may not know what that is.
Talk to them.
So,
I like
the
that.
way the schools are kind of set up in the States, there are public schools, which are free education for you, and you go based on the neighborhood that you live in. You are assigned to go to a school that is, I would say nearby your house, but honestly, I don't know what they're doing sometimes. But basically, the state or the city picks a school that you go to based on where you live. That is a public school, and that education is completely free.
Except for lunch. You pay for lunch and extracurricular activities. Those things matter, which we're going to keep building.
And then the other type of school is a charter school. So a charter school is like in between a public school and a private school. The reason being, charter schools have limited admission. So there's only a certain amount of kids that can go to a school, that particular school. You don't necessarily have to live in a certain area to go to that school, but you will be responsible for taking your child to school. They don't have like buses that would take your kids to these schools because you're choosing to go to this school. And a lot of times this happens with a lottery. And so you'll sign your kid up to be able to go to a specific school, and then they'll just go through the list. And when they get to your name on the list, if there's an opening for your child in that grade, then they'll be able to go to the school. The school that our kids went to, again, a phenomenal charter school. And some people were on the waiting list for years trying to get into this school, 3 and 4 years trying to get into this school. However, God just really favored us, and our kids were selected that very first year to be able to get to go to this school. Now, also with that, it's helpful when you have family members that go to that school, cousins, sisters, brothers. It can help you get into this school and things like that. I won't go into too much detail about that. But the big thing about charter school is it's free education, but it's a higher level. Maybe they're more monitoring of the number of students in a class and things like that. Whereas in public school, I know people that are teachers and they may have 60 children in one class, 90 children in one class. I think even Miss Deborah one time had like 100 kids in a class.
PE class.
It's like, how can one teacher manage 100 students or teach them effectively? Like, you know, you could be an amazing teacher and you're going to do all the best you can, but it's too many kids to teach effectively at once. But those are the type of things that happen in a public school. There can be so many kids, and it's just the luck of the draw when you're in a public school. Like I said, charter school, it's free, but they're more monitoring of things. And then there's private education, which is paid for education.
100%.
Yes, everything you do, you paying for it, and you're paying not just the tuition, but you donating to the school and all kinds of things. One of my nephews went to private school in the States for a little bit, and it was just for a little bit because it's very expensive. However, one of the major benefits in going to private school, especially in the States, is the relationships that you are
100%.
able to forge and form, because a
Yeah.
lot of times, because it is so expensive, the upper class, I would say, of the people in your city go to these schools, send their children to these schools, so politicians and things like that. And so then your kids are becoming friends with these people
Yep.
of influence. And so it pushes you in certain circles. And so if you have the money to make the investment, it could be great.
Correct.
But most people don't have the money
not
to
the
make
norm.
the
No.
investment. Most
No.
people do not. But that's what it is. And those are the different classes of schools. So when we say our kids went to a charter school, one of the reasons they had such an amazing school experience is because they were at a charter school, which again was free for us.
Yeah.
But everybody,
Tuition was free.
Tuition was free. But then with Mr.
I was
Handsome,
about to say for rain.
for rain, because with Mr. Handsome, so when your child is in daycare, we call it daycare or preschool, that is from the ages of infancy, honestly, up until 5 years old, and you have to pay for that.
Yes.
It is not free anywhere. And so if you're a parent that works, you just gotta pay. And so again, the cost may range depending on the education level that your child will receive while at school. Again, he was at this amazing charter program.
Yeah.
And so he learned to write his name. He learned letters. He started learning to read words and all of that between 3 and 4 years old.
Yeah.
So
Intelligently inclined.
they push the limits of education, but
Yeah.
that's just to explain the different levels in the different ways that the school system works. But there is free education in the States at public schools, but what that education looks like is light years behind the type of education level that to me seems to even be given at public schools here in South Africa.
And I do want to say, after all of that was said so brilliantly as well, is that we are both products of the public school. So I do want to put that out there. Public schools aren't treacherous, bad, and terrible in the States. There are some great ones, some that quite honestly aren't, and that's just the truth of the matter. However, I went through all my years of public school. Did you?
Yeah, I did as well. We had the option. I think once I got to like 11th grade, our parents asked if they wanted me and my brother closer in age to me did we want to go to private school, and that was more so that my brother could be a part of a golf program.
Gotcha.
He's great at golfing, but we decided no. I didn't want to switch, and he wanted to stay with me, and so we decided to stay where we were.
And I went to a phenomenal high school and all of that, so I stayed in, and all that to say, we did graduate from public school, we did go to college, we did go to graduate school and things like that. So all that to say, you can go through this system through the public school and turn out well. However, specifically to where we are here, it is a privilege and an honor, and truth be told, a blessing to be able to have our kids in the private school that they are in here, and then for them to be able to be around and interact with the various kids that they get to interact with, because the schools here I love, and that we've been to 2 different schools, even like visitings and things like that. They're all diverse. Like the diversity that you get within the schools here is phenomenal now, which I think you've heard us talk about in other videos, how that's even a beautiful thing about the country of South Africa itself, how diverse it is, of course known as the Rainbow Nation, and that is even poured into their everyday schooling, classrooms and things like that, even from the teachers and the faculty to the kids themselves. It's amazing to me how diverse the kids are, and so they get to learn about various traditions, customs, beliefs, and from that matter, even down to the classroom, you can decide what your kid learns and what your kids believe, in a sense that they have like a Hindu, they have Islam, they have Christianity, non-beliefs, and within the school day, they go off to whichever path in which the parents decide for them to go down. And so I even love that even within the classrooms, that diversity of truly life is indicative within their everyday classroom. So that's one of the things I love about the educational systems here.
And I would say one of the things that I absolutely love is they teach languages starting at an early age.
True.
So Rain, who is in stage 2 or grade 2 now, she's in grade 2, and she's already learning primarily in English, but also being exposed to 2 other languages, isiZulu and Afrikaans. And she did so great for her first semester. Proud of her.
Yes.
And our son Rickey, who's now going to stage 5, he also is,
which is kindergarten,
learning isiZulu and Afrikaans even when he was in pre-K, or what we would call VPK in the States. And so the intentionality in learning languages, and they continue to add various languages as they matriculate through the school system. I feel like that just speaks so intentionally to being a global citizen.
Facts.
How can you have global impact but you don't speak multiple languages?
Correct.
It's challenging. And so I think they are really preparing the children here to be able to go off and live in other countries, other nations, and do well. Whether they know a language of a place that they're moving to or not yet, their minds are already set to be able to try and know how to learn new languages, because again, that's continued. In the States, most people don't start learning a second language until sometime in high school, normally around 10th grade. So
that's true.
We have 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. Those are your high school grades. I think they call it college here. And so not until 10th grade, your second year in high school, so 3 years when you're about to leave, do you pick a language and you have to take it for 2 years. And then you're done. Any language. And so it's like, I have friends, my brother took Japanese. What is he doing with Japanese? Like, you know, and then I have friends that took French, or you know, at least that's a more global language. A lot of people in States take Spanish, because it's where we are. It's just so common. But most people, they take languages and they forget. It's not helpful. And because you only do it once, you pick one language for 2 years through your whole schooling career, you're really not trained well to be able to learn additional languages and again have that global impact that you may want to have. If you want to learn, I have a best friend, her daughter learned Mandarin. But oh my gosh, this girl is so smart. But again, she's at a private school. So she had the opportunity to learn Mandarin at the age of 5. But at normal schools, you're not going to get to do that. And so I just love the ability for our kids to get that head start, especially with us being people that know we are called to the nations. To be able to learn languages and be able to get a head start with that. And I love the intentionality.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful. And 2 things, I'll just do 2 at a time. 2 things that I love that happens here is that, one, the private school that they're in and the other schools that we've seen as well that we were considering them being in, is that they wear uniforms. And I love uniforms. Being a parent, right, you can understand why we would love uniforms. It's simple, it's easy, we know what they're gonna wear, we know what it is, and it's specifically for school. And so at the end of the day, everybody at the school looks alike, and of course that helps with the bullying and things like that. But then it also helps us and the preparation process of getting them out the door each and every day, which we all know is a task for all parents around the world, no matter what school your kids go to. Getting them to the school is a task in itself. And so the uniforms are great. They're nice uniforms and all of that. And they're even considerate of the various climates and things like that that takes place in a day, right? Because you can have it rainy, sunny, and cold all in one day. And the uniforms cater to those.
Versatile.
Correct, the versatility of the day. But then also I love the year-round schooling that they do here. In a case where it starts from January, school starts January, next week specifically, and then it goes all the way until December, the beginning week of December. And I love that because it speaks to what the real world actually works and operates, and that we do life year round.
Yeah.
We work year round, we operate year round, we make a difference in this world and impact year round, as opposed to the States where we have like half a semester and then another semester from August to December, and then January to like, you know, May, April, and some schools they fluctuate. But all that to say, I love the year-round schooling, but it does give you 2-week breaks in between terms. And so just to give you an idea, there's 4 terms in a year, and after first term comes second term, of course, just like in a number line, but in between it's like a 2-week break, and sometimes there's like a 3. But nonetheless, I love that because it gives them a focus on school year round, and things aren't lost in the shuffle of the long gaps and breaks. But then also it's indicative of what real world is like. But then in those breaks, we can explore. So maybe we'll visit some of the spaces we talked about in previous videos this month of places that we want to go. We could check them out during the break. So I love those things.
Yes. And I would say another thing that I love is that they encourage independence at the schools and responsibility.
Yeah.
So even when we're dropping off the kids at school, or I'm picking them up, like they are like, even with Rickey saying like, hey, you know, you're supposed to grab your stuff, you're supposed to do this. They have a very good understanding of what they are responsible for, where their things belong, what they need to be doing, when they need to be doing it. And that sense of responsibility, again, it's truly training them to be adults. Yeah. One thing that I could say, in American culture, children are very codependent on anybody that will let them codepend. That's just the truth. I would say on their parents, but literally anybody. And it's really unfortunate because you see a group of people that turn 18, they graduate from high school, and it's like, they are so frazzled. They don't know what to do. They don't have any idea how to be independent people, to make basic decisions. However, I see them training Rickey and Rain to make basic decisions.
Yeah.
Of course, appropriate for their age, but continuing to make basic decisions, use their mind to think about what they need to do next, what comes today, what comes tomorrow, for themselves. And I'm like, this is a key that is invaluable because, again, by the time they reach 18 and they're graduating from school, they're going to be prepared to, you know, go to college or whatever their next step is and make basic life decisions on their own without being so codependent. And that is an invaluable thing to me. So I would say they're teaching life skills, not just educating the kids. I think that is extremely, extremely important.
Right.
And another thing, there's another thing I was gonna say. The other thing that I was gonna say is, just being in different environments with other kids of different faiths, different nationalities. You kind of touched on it, but the importance of teaching tolerance of others. Because the truth is, whether I agree with your religious beliefs or not, that does not matter. I still need to be able to treat you well, to be kind, to be in spaces that we can cohabitate together. Because when you go into the workforce, when you go into life, you are going to see people that have different beliefs, different cultures, different values. They're going to look different and things like that. But they are so intentional about making sure that children are able to be around each other, and treat each other with kindness and treat each other well, even though you have different beliefs or things like that. And I think that is also something that is very much lacking in the United States, because it's just, one, they took religion out of school. So you can't teach anything about religion, which, again, is unfortunate because it doesn't teach people how to cohabitate when there are different religions in place. And so that it's not that you need to learn other people's religion, but you need to be able to cohabitate around them. But again, since they took religion out of school in the States, people are they're not learning that tolerance and that ability to cohabitate. And I don't care what religion you are, you still need to know how to love people well, be kind to others, have genuine human decency. And so I think that is something that's really important, and I love that they have it here.
No, I so agree, and so well said, especially in this day and age where cancel culture is prevalent in the States specifically. You have to be able to understand everybody doesn't think like you, and it's okay. The diversity of thought, the diversity of humanity is the way it was designed to be. And so, well said, my dear. And even to speak specifically to like the subjects and things like that, it is exhaustive in a sense where they're learning everything that they need to learn. Even in us moving here, it wasn't even a consideration of like, oh man, what are the schools like? But I get it for people that are considering various places to find themselves, especially with kids. Know that they'll be okay. They are learning the maths, the language, even how to pronounce words. I forgot like how you say it, but not dictation, but like the sound, how they have different sounds. And I didn't even learn it, like conjunction, junction, wishful, all those things. Like I know the song, but even like how to pronounce a thing, because of course our daughter is learning how to read, and even building upon what she's already learned and being able to sound out words and spelling words and all those things that we were excited for them to be able to continue in doing. They are getting it, they are learning it. And I even love the fact that she gets homework. She gets homework every week, and it's a packet of work that she has to do from the various subjects of English, of math, and doing projects already in grade 1, first grade. And I love that. I love that because it's work. And I believe that them taking this seriously and them learning these various subjects and things now is going to prepare them to be able to go anywhere. Truth be told, I'm not afraid of them and the education that they're getting now, that when we go somewhere else, when we move somewhere else, that they'll be behind. That's never a thought. That's not a thought. I know that they're going to be advanced. They'll probably be higher educated than those in which we may come in contact with as we move and things like that. So I'm excited, right? It's a international, most of the schools here are international in a sense where they get curriculum from other places or they have other locations around the world. And so that already speaks volumes to what's established here. And know that your kids will be great. Your kids will be taken care of, and you won't have to worry. A lot of the schools, all the schools that we've ventured into, they're secured. And so that was another thing that was important for us, security. And that it's not a thought. We don't even have to consider whether or not they're safe, whether or not they're secure, or whether or not they'll be there when we go to pick them up. And so know that you don't have to worry about that as well.
Yes. And so 2 other things that I would say. One is age-appropriate assignments. I would get highly frustrated in the States when Rain has homework, but it's something she clearly cannot do herself. Like, you want me to do this with her. Well, no, homework is supposed to be her doing practicing what was already taught
in class.
And so I just feel like if you have me doing these assignments, she's not the one learning because I'm the one doing it. Like, you want her to do this research paper on somebody from the internet, but she's in kindergarten. She's in first grade. Like, she don't know how to go on the internet and look up this stuff by herself. Like, again, that which links back to that teaching independence and being able to actually do things. It's real life application. When you're on a job, yeah, there are going to be certain things you do that are group project, but you're gonna have things you need to do, and you need to know the tools and know how to find the tools to do what you need to do.
Yeah.
But it's going to be appropriate for your level. And so she gets assignments that are appropriate for her level. If she has homework, yeah, I still will look after what she's doing, but she can do it. I don't have to do it. She can actually do the work and the assignments that she's given. And I think that's very important. And again, it shows she's learning in the classroom so she can come and do what it is at home. Not now she just lost and now I have a project to do. Like, no. So I love that they give appropriate assignments based on what was actually taught. And then the other thing that I was going to say is she does not have standardized testing. They do not start standardized testing until, I want to say it's either grade 4 or grade 5. I think it's grade 5. They don't have standardized testing, which takes a lot of stress off of her. It was crazy. We were coming over here and we're talking about school, and one of the first things Ray asked me is, are they gonna give me tests? I don't like tests. And I wasn't sure at the time, but then when she found out her school didn't have tests, she enjoys going to school. It's less stressful for her because she's truly just going to learn. So they basically spend that first 4 years, kindergarten, 5 years, kindergarten up to grade 4 where they're teaching and they're just learning. She's able to absorb the information. They do still give them reports at the end of the year that lets them know how they're doing in each of these different areas. So they're still keeping track of what's happening, and the school that she's at provides tutors where she needs it. But it's like they are able to learn and not have the stress of, oh my gosh, and this is going on my record, like I might not pass this grade because, I didn't do well on these spelling tests or whatever the case may be. They don't have standardized testing at the end of the year that determines if they get to go to the next stage. They basically use a set of years, a span of years to continue to teach them and allow them to learn and grasp what it is that they need to know and make sure they're in the place that they need to be so that then they can start the testing in stage 5, which was big for us because, again, adding 2 languages to their curriculum, that would have been really stressful if she had to take a standardized test for isiZulu or Afrikaans and she only, learned it for 1 term. No, she's going to be able to be in those classes for 4 years before she has to even take 1 test on those languages, 1 standardized test on those languages. And so I think it's good. Take that pressure off of kids, because the fact that, again, she's only in grade 2 and she was like, oh my God, so nervous about having to take standardized tests. Like, that is insane. So I'm actually really happy that she's able to just enjoy learning for what it is meant to be without that rigorous stuff at such a young age.
No, that's good. And even I can say I brought over some of that mindset from the States when moving over here, in a case where they do spelling tests, if you will. They do spelling assignments each and every week. They get a list of spelling words. I think it's like 20, and they have a test, if you will, on Friday. And so usually in the States, what we were used to is that the kids both of them, would come home with a packet of their work that they did the previous week with their grades for their spelling tests, math tests, and things like that. And I wasn't getting like the spelling test back, but yet we were working on the spelling test, preparing for her for the Fridays for the test, but we weren't getting the grades. And I was like, hold on, wait a minute, like, right, you're not getting back the work? She was like, no. Okay, so another thing that I love about schools here is that the teacher interaction with the parents is tight. Like, we have a WhatsApp group with the teacher, and we have like a teacher assistant and all of the parents within that class. And so we can message at any time, truth be told, anytime, whether it's morning, noon, or night, about the class or about the student or about any questions that we may have with what's going on. And so on that WhatsApp, I messaged like, hey, I'm not getting back any like spelling test grades. How is she doing? And the teacher just like thumbs it up, and then she private messaged me on WhatsApp saying, oh no, she's doing great, she's doing good. I could send you her grades and all as she does them if that's what you're looking for. And then I had to like pump my brakes. I was like, okay, let me calm down. Like, I don't want to be that parent, or more than anything, I don't want to put more on the teacher that she already has going on. But she was willing. I must say, she was willing. And the beautiful things about the teachers here is that they not only have a primary teacher, but oftentimes a secondary teacher as well, which goes beyond the thought of what you could get in the States. Like Chrystle already said, most teachers are already overburdened with the responsibility of having so many students that they attend to each and every day, that they aren't able to even meet with or have a WhatsApp group or a text thread with the parents. You're thankful to even get a one-on-one meeting with the teacher throughout a term or without a school year in the States. But I love that. But then even with it, it's cool. It lets me know that, and I'm even just all on your point, but I think one of the main points is you get interactions with the teachers, you get interactions with the parents, you also have a secondary teacher that you can speak to, talk to, and make sure that your child is doing what they need to do. And I love that. I mean, there is so much peace of mind that comes within the knowledge that the kid is attended to, and the teacher knows them and even cares to get to know the child, because they can, right? It's not so many students that they can't, but the teacher knew who Rain was, they knew who Rickey was. You know, granted, they do have an accent, so it's easy to pick them out, and they are like personalities of themselves, so that even adds. But even beyond those things, to know them and to understand them and to recognize that they came from another country and they're learning things now, it's beautiful. And as a parent, I think we both and all want to know that our kids will be cared for, our kids will be understood, and they'll have that grace and that space where they're able to acclimate to the new within this new country that you may be living in, or, you know, we may find ourselves in, and know that the schools here are understanding and they will respond accordingly. So I love that.
Yeah, and I would say, even just to go along with what you're saying about just the teachers and things like that, at both schools that the kids attended, the teachers really did go the extra mile with showing up. They made sure, like, hey, Rain is new. Everybody come say hello, give her a hug, you know, tell her, you know, welcome to South Africa. And there was even times where Rain wasn't feeling well. The teacher WhatsApp messaged me on the over the weekend. Hey, how did Rain's doctor's appointment go? Is she feeling any better? You know, is there anything that we can do? One day she wasn't feeling good. The teacher said, hey, instead of sending her over to her adventure zone, I'm gonna stay here with her in the class until you're able to get here to pick her up. She can just lay down where I am. Like, just going that extra mile. It's like, especially when you're transitioning to a new country, the way that the teachers make sure that they feel so invited and welcome is amazing. A lot of the community is built in the schools. Rain has made friends from birthday parties because the kids have parties and they invite everybody in the class. And so that has also been awesome. Just for when we first got here, this girl, she was booked and busy like the first 3 weekends going to birthday parties. And it's like, again, that went such a long way to allow her to feel comfortable in a new place, to feel loved and accepted in a new place. Like, people, again, saying hi, the kids being intentional about helping make sure she could get from one class to another class. Like, oh, we go this way. Oh, these are the things that we do right now. Oh, let's do this. Like, not just, oh, girl, you're new. Like, you'll figure it out. Because we came towards the very end of the year. So a lot of friend groups are already formed, but it meant so much when dropping her off on the second or third day of school, we're peeking into the class and we see kids are already going up to her or going up to Rickey to play with them and do things with them. Again, that speaks to the foundation of just being kind to others. Like, even learning that from such a young age. Because I promise you, in this stage, your child is just going to be standing in a corner by themselves. And it's sad. But that's the truth. Sad. And so, you know, those are some things that is just like invaluable.
Yeah, no, so very true. And even within that, before we bring the kids on, is a high level of discipline that they do pull out of the kids to be able to live out of and to be able to operate within the classrooms and all. Like, the teachers, well, when we visited, let's say it that way, when we visited, the teachers were doing very little correction and more instructing, which is amazing. You don't see that a lot in the States. Oftentimes the teachers have to do a lot of correcting, a lot of disciplining, a lot of stop talking this, stop talking that, sit down, all of those things. Which at the end of the day, I was that child receiving a lot of the corrections, but at the end of the day, I turned out great. But I say all that to say, here, the schools are great. Now, no, the kids aren't being spanked in the schools that we've checked out. Because like Chrystle said, they have been in 2 different schools, which you could check on the membership videos. We talk about why. But even with that, within the 2 of them, all of the kids there were disciplined. They listened to their teachers. They knew what the assignment was and what the purpose was for them to be at school, and they were focused on that. And I love that largely because it allows for them to continue to learn and to grow. And to Chrystle's point, when they come home with the homework, they're able to do extended wise what they were doing in class, as opposed to learning something new because they weren't able to get to it because of disciplinary problems that their teachers had to address in the class. So all that to say, your kid's gonna be great, but to even further solidify how great they will be, I call forth the kiddos. Come on in to the video. Come on, Ray. It's all right. I'm gonna let you all share your thoughts. Starting with Rain, of course, we do ladies first, my man, because we are gentlemen. Rain, how has it been to come here to Johannesburg to start school as opposed to, well, just in general? What was it like to come here as a student here in Johannesburg? Good. What made it good? Why was it good coming here?
Because I made friends.
You make friends. Okay, so it was easy to make friends.
Not really.
Say it again.
Not really.
Not really? It wasn't?
Well, yeah.
No, I mean, tell you the truth. It wasn't easy to make friends?
It was.
Okay, it was easy to make friends. Rickey, how about you? What was it like coming to school here in Johannesburg?
It was good.
Okay, what made it good?
It was a little bit hard to make friends.
Okay.
Except for my other friends that I already have.
Oh, you already had friends in Johannesburg when you came?
Yes.
Oh, how did that work out? Like, how did you already have friends?
I just played with Rody's son and my other friends. And then he wanted to be my friend.
There it is. And so was it easy to be friends with him, playing with him?
Mm-hmm.
And so things like that you can't beat. Question, Rain, is there something from schools back in the States that you went to that you're missing here in Johannesburg?
They do not have iPads in the States.
Oh, so, okay. So the answer of the question is no, but the schools here are even a little bit better because they have iPads in the school. Okay. What's something that you would tell a child, right? If there's a child watching this video that may be moving here with their family to Johannesburg, what would you tell them
Have fun.
to give them comfort in going to school?
Have fun.
Have fun? What does that mean, have fun?
Daddy, have fun. You need to have fun.
In class?
Yes.
So they will have fun is what you're saying.
No, have fun.
So it's interesting, right? And I say it's interesting, right? I'm just breaking the ice, guys, breaking the ice. So y'all know what we do these videos with the kids. It's nothing that's forced on them in a sense where we're feeding them answers. No, they're genuinely saying what they want to say and what they're actually dealing with. And
I
so
think I understand what she's saying.
Okay, help me.
She's saying, like, enjoy the new experience.
Okay.
Enjoy the people that you get to meet. Have fun learning with your friends. Is that what you're saying? Like,
Yeah.
like enjoy everything that's around. Like,
Have fun.
yeah, have fun. Don't think about being scared. Like, just have fun. Enjoy it.
Gotcha. Okay, I dig that. And Rickey, is there anything that you would like to say about schools here in Johannesburg?
No.
You don't want to tell them about this hip hop class you signed up for?
By yourself?
It's so.
What about that? What do you do in hip hop?
I already did a show for hip hop.
You did a show? You did a whole show?
Mm-hmm.
When?
Lord help me. At school.
For the stage 5. Is that what you were doing? It
No,
was in
for
the
the
day.
stage 4.
Oh, okay. You did
You didn't
it was
invite
only
us.
for the kids, I guess.
Oh.
No, but other children, one person went to the hip hop thing.
There were
in my
parents
class.
there.
Yeah, you can.
Why you didn't
only
tell
if
us?
you have a student that does it.
We did.
I'm
What
so
does that
confused.
mean? So I will say it is great because during the school year there are various performances and things that the kids get the opportunity to do. So obviously with us doing what we're doing right now before you, we love the very fact.
Then you have to take me home.
That's fine.
We'll
Yeah.
take you
Because
home.
there's performances and things that we're now finding out that my boy was in a whole hip hop performance and we weren't even invited to, therefore we wasn't there. So it looks like he don't have parents that supportive. But you know, we're very supportive.
Because you guys didn't come.
So we have to give let me give a little backstory. Rickey kept
Okay.
saying he wanted to take hip hop. We were like, what are you talking about? We need to find out more. Because he goes to Adventure Zone, which is like the after school
Correct.
program. And he was like, I want to do hip hop. And he kept saying it. And then his dad said, you know what? I'll check on it. I'll see. His dad went to check on it and see. But we determined that because it was already towards the end of the term and he may not even be able to do any of the shows because you have to learn the stuff, we would just wait and let him start in the new year.
Correct.
But then like 2 weeks later, we found out he's been taking hip hop. So I don't know, at some point he signed himself up, told these people that he's supposed to be in hip hop as his after school activity, because after school you pick various activities that you will go to to do. Rain does chess, she does cricket, she does ball skills, she does a couple different things. So one of the things that Rickey chose apparently
himself
was hip hop. And so that's why we're like, wait, there's a show, what are you talking about? So we're still new to the school situation.
That's it. So we're good. That's because even Rain, she was in choir, and we knew because she wasn't in choir the whole term that she wasn't going to be a part of the choir show.
Right.
And so that was our mindset, even with the boy Rickey. Like, you know, he's not going to be able to do all the various things within the hip hop class. So we're going to start afresh in term 1. So he'll be able to do the various things. Go ahead. What are you saying?
I wonder how he signed himself in, because you have to do your signature. And he hasn't picked his signature out yet.
Well, no, yes, but no.
Right.
So
that's a whole other conversation. We working on signatures and things.
I have mine.
Right, because cursive isn't what's taught in the States.
Yeah,
however, you know, some way or another, she came across signatures and was like, oh, I want my own signature. So that's even something that she's now doing. But last but not least, my dear, you said there was nothing that you wanted to add. And so I dare not ask any question, but your mom, she's been doing great with y'all in the video. So anything you would like to maybe pull out or add with them here that I wasn't able to get?
So no, I think that's it. But I think the kids, whenever I'm picking them up for school, one of the things Ray says is, Mommy, why did you come so early? She wishes she could stay longer. So
that says a lot.
And I come almost at the end of the day. Literally, I come 30 minutes before they close.
Ending.
And she's like, why did you come so early? So the kids are always having fun. I feel like they are very safe in the environment that they're in. They love the food. They eat all the food. And so, yes, especially Mr. Handsome. He loves eating the food. And one of the things that's also cool about him is they have a whole like cafeteria dining area with little chairs and tables. And they said it's important for the kids to learn how to eat out and amongst people and know the proper manners. And even just those small things, again, it's teaching life skills. And it's invaluable. So we're really happy with the school that the kids go to. And like Rickey said, you can find out more about exactly what school that is and other details and things when if you're a part of our family membership program.
Tier 2.
It is absolutely phenomenal.
Very much so.
There's obviously so much we could say about this school
because there's so many different parts.
Yeah, there's
that matter.
I can still think that I didn't mention, but this video is already long, so I'm not gonna go into it. But they're phenomenal education.
Yeah, and truth be told, kids, you all start school next week. Are you excited?
Yes.
And that says a lot. For kids to be excited about going to school,
I don't want to go to aftercare.
That should say enough, right? That should say enough about what is taking place and what your kids may be in contact with when the school year begins. And one last point I will say is that they're even learning how to swim. They're learning how to swim in school, a part of their physical education, which is phenomenal. In the States, you have to pay extra in an extra setting, probably on a Saturday or something, that you take your kids to swim class, but not here. In school, they learn how to swim, which I appreciate, because I don't know how to swim, but yet they're going to learn how to swim.
And I'm going to teach him how to swim.
Boom shakalaka, because of the school system. So
and I don't think they were swimming in the States. I'd never saw a swimming pool, and I've been there like for a couple years.
And we were in Florida, so if anybody had a pool, it should have been in Florida. But we didn't really.
Maybe the private school.
As I say, I think maybe at the private schools. But this boy here, oh my gosh, y'all. He said he don't want to go to aftercare because he what he's doing right now is what he wants to do all day, every day, 24 hours a day. As soon as school is over, he want to be sitting up under me somewhere. But
Asking
like
for
I said,
food.
asking for food. But like I said, when he's there, he's having fun. He loves it so much. He signed himself up for extra activities
Extra stuff.
to
Hello.
do when he's at aftercare. So
Right.
The point
yeah.
is, he's just doing it himself.
There it is.
I can't believe the teachers are like, "Are you sure? You should
Well, I mean,
just tell
his name is my name.
I never asked, and I just did that.
Well,
Yeah,
there it
you
is,
asked
great
your
people.
dad.
Right,
Well,
right.
Yeah, I did. I wanted it to say it. I got it.
Huh, there it is. We were talking about the power of our words. But at the end of the day, that concludes today's video as it pertains to education. I pray and hope that we answered the question that you have, but it as well gave you the comfort to know that your child will be okay. You will be elated because of the education that they get here, and you'll be thankful that you did make the move or even were able to get your kids into private schools here. So with that being said, great people, we love you all. We appreciate you all. We'll see you on the next
We'll see you on the next video. Peace.